Okay. Welcome to our Invest in Your Health call. We are so excited to have you here and so very excited to talk to you about these products that we love and to have some testimonies from those who have had their lives changed because of it. I'm Tennille Ray. I live in North Salt Lake with my husband and our 8-year-old daughter, Hope. And I started Plexus about 3 years ago, 3.5. My friend posted on Facebook a story about how she had lost baby weight and was just taking these supplements. And so I sent her a message and said, that sounds fantastic, but if I try one more thing, Sean will kill me. And she knew my husband, so she kind of laughed. And then we talked for a few days and she finally said, just do it. And we decided, nope, can't do it. Can't afford it. We had just purchased a new home. Our balance was at zero. We had no funds at all. And I said, I talked to him and we just can't do it. And she goes, oh, he'll get over it. You're doing it anyway. And so I did it anyway. And then he didn't talk to me for a couple of days. He was not happy. And because, it just went on a credit card because that was all I had. I had nothing else to put it on. But I was desperate. Just wanted to lose some weight. And then the longer I took the products, the more I realized other things were happening. I had always lived under a bit of a dark cloud. I didn't realize that it was unusual to always feel down or to not have a desire to do anything or go anywhere, or the thought of leaving the house was terrifying. And I had been that way since I was about 7 years old. And as I was taking the products, those feelings started to go away and the cloud lifted and everything was lighter and brighter. And I talked to a therapist and she goes, holy cow, you have had anxiety and depression for decades. I can't believe no one caught it before now. It was gone. And that's probably one of the bigger miracles for me as far as Plexus goes. My husband asked my daughter how I was doing after I'd been on the products for a bit. And she said, Mommy's a happy mommy. And that was kind of it. And I hadn't realized how much my poor health was affecting my family because I was still trying to do everything. I was still trying to be the mom and the wife, and I was working. And, I was working as a server and doing all these things, and I thought that I was okay. And I wasn't. But I started taking the products, and I started with the Triplex, which is our core 3 products. So it's the Plexus Slim. I'll be Vanna White for a second. Plexus Slim, we have 2 different flavors, and they do 2 different things. So one, Plexus XOS, stands for a really big word that I have a really hard time saying, but basically it feeds the good bacteria in your gut. So it boosts your gut health by giving the good things in your system the food that they need. And it also balances your blood sugar and helps with inflammation issues and sugar cravings and those type of things. It comes in a little packet. You just drink it with water. The other Slim is called Slim Hunger Control, and it helps with food cravings on another level, more so than the XOS does. And the company products to that are the BioCleanse and the ProBio 5. ProBio 5 is the best probiotic that I have found personally, and I've looked into a lot of them. It has enzymes and a probiotic so that it does more than just put good bacteria into your system. It actually helps break down and kill the bad bacteria that is keeping you sick. And then the BioCleanse comes along and it kind of acts like the garbage truck that takes all of that nasty that's been killed off and takes it out. Now, people hear cleanse and they think, oh my gosh, no, I don't have time for that. I can't be in the bathroom all day long. It is not like that at all. It is a gentle daily cleanse. It's full of magnesium, which 8 out of 10 Americans are deficient in. And magnesium is necessary for over 300 processes in your body. So when you're deficient in magnesium, your body cannot function the way that it's meant to. So that's what these products help to do. These three, they balance your blood sugar, they improve your gut health, they reduce inflammation. And along that line of reducing inflammation, we also have a product called Ease. Just briefly, it's an anti-inflammatory, that's all it does. But it's not like the medication that you would take, because it doesn't have the harmful side effects that some medications can have. It has turmeric, bromelain, serrapeptase, and green-lip mussel. And those things work together to reduce the inflammation in your body. And that is what Plexus is about: reduced inflammation, balancing blood sugar, and improving gut health. Now, you might think, I don't really need my blood sugar balanced. I'm not a diabetic. Neither was I, but I was still crashing every single day. 2 p.m. came around and I was done. It was nap time. Whether my daughter was ready for a nap or not, she had to take one because I had to take one. I don't need those naps anymore. I don't live off of caffeine. Dr. Pepper was my boyfriend. I loved him. He was wonderful. I would get him in the morning after I would drop my daughter off at school, and we would sit together in my house until it was time to pick her up. Best friend, guys. Don't need him anymore. Haven't had soda in 3 years, and I don't even miss it. I don't miss the crash. Sorry. I don't miss the spike and then the crash. It's amazing what blood sugar balance will do for you. And I'm going to turn it over to Kara because I can't talk anymore.
Poor Tanel. She has a cold and she's trying so hard to speak for us tonight. Thank you, Tanel, for sharing your story. I love it. We're actually going to turn it over to Bobby for a little bit and have her tell her story. You're still muted. Sorry. I will get you
on. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yep.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I am Bobby, and Kara is my newfound wonderful friend that has helped me in so many ways. So, I am so excited to talk to you guys about the products that I started using that Kara talked me into using. She didn't give up on me. That was fantastic. She had offered them to me probably a year and a half ago or so. And I was like, no, I'm good. I got something else. It's working great, until it was just too hard to stick to. And then it wasn't working great. And luckily she came back and offered it to me right at the right time. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Anyway, so my history, I have had terrible migraines since I was a kid, terrible inflammation, pain. It just sits in my shoulder and it just causes this tension. My shoulders are like rocks, guys, all the time. I've never been able to sleep. Even as a kid, I would lay down in my bed and try to count sheep. I didn't know what to do. And I would lay in my bed and take hours to fall asleep. And then when I finally woke up in the morning, I felt like, oh my gosh, did I sleep at all? So those are things that I've struggled with so much in my life. And Kara gave me a trial pack of Just the Slim, and I tried Just the Slim and I started sleeping, and I was like, what is this miracle? This is a miracle drug, right? But it's not a drug. It's healthy for us. It's healing my body and it's improving my cravings. I am like a sugar-aholic. I always had ice cream and cookies and brownies, and I have Easter candy left over, guys. Easter candy. Usually my holiday candy doesn't even make it to the holiday. I have to go get more. So that's just incredible for me. And I feel great. I sleep great. I'm happy. I don't hurt. I'm not in pain. I haven't had a migraine since I started taking these supplements several months ago, which for me, guys, I used to have a migraine every other day, if not every day. It was just something I had to live with, but it's not something I have to live with anymore because these supplements work. They are healing my body from the inside out. And I just want to share with every person I come into contact with. You got to try this stuff because it's going to help you. You're going to feel better. It's going to work because it can't just work for me. It has to be able to help everyone if it's helping me. I'm not something special. I'm just a person like every one of us that wants to feel better. That's it.
I love it. Thank you, Bobbi. I remember just a couple weeks ago, Bobbi's just been taking the products for a couple months now, but and she took Joyome first. I was able to get her to start with Joyome first, and then she, like she said, she was like open and ready to try the supplements one day, and I was shocked. I had actually just kind of asked, like, would you want to try them? Yeah, maybe. And she was like, yeah. I would, and my mouth dropped open, and I said, yay! So I got her some products, and she was one of the people that had faster results. She was drinking all of her water, and that really helps. But I remember a couple weeks ago when I saw her post on Facebook, and she turned down a cookie at work. And I remember just jumping for joy for her because I remember the day that my cravings went away too, and I thought, that's impossible. I never thought that would happen. I have craved sugar all my life. I've had insulin resistance all my life. So when my cravings went away and I started craving vegetables and water, I was floored. So I totally was so excited to hear that she was at that point too. So I'm going to talk about X Factor just a little bit. It's kind of our we call it our Fab Fourth product, and it goes with the Triplex so well. So the Triplex, like Tanil talked about, the Slim, the BioCleanse, and the ProBio 5, works so well to balance your blood sugar, decrease your inflammation, and improve your gut health. Well, your gut is where you absorb your nutrients, so it also increases your nutrient absorption. And when I started Plexus, I was nutrient deficient in a lot of areas. I had lost about 80, 90 pounds the year before, about the year, a couple years before. And I had done it kind of fast. And so I was deficient in my iron. My iron stores were gone. My vitamin D was very low. My calcium was so low that my parathyroid, which regulates your calcium, was high. It was working overtime, and it was stealing calcium from my bones just to help my body to survive. So basically it was going to lead to some osteoporosis issues because I just wasn't getting enough calcium. So when I started, I actually had heard of Plexus 2 years before I started. And I thought that's just one of those quick fix weight loss things. And I didn't believe in a quick fix. I still don't believe in a quick fix. It takes time to heal your body. And so I wasn't interested. Well, 2 years later, I went to go visit my sister who had just moved to Minnesota, and she was kind of, homesick, missing family, stuff like that. So I surprised her with a visit. If you knew my sister at all, you would know that she had a boyfriend named Coke, just like Tanil had her Dr. Pepper boyfriend. My sister's boyfriend was Coke, and she had Coke everywhere. I remember being on girls' trips with her, and she would wake up in the middle of the night, take a swig of warm Coke that was sitting by her bed, and go back to sleep. And I just thought, that is so gross. But she needed her Coke all the time. She had always struggled with some depression since she was a teenager. And that meant she slept a lot. She kind of lived in a fog a lot, and she had some mood swings. And so when I went to go visit her, not only was she awake, but she was happy. She was being the mom that she wanted to be, and there was no Coke in her house. And I said, what is wrong with you? Like, what is going on? And she said, I'm trying this stuff called Plexus, and I'm loving it. Have you heard of it? And I said, oh, yep, I've heard of that. It's just one of those things. And she said, I don't think so. I think it's different. She's like, you should really try it. Well, at that point, a lot of people didn't know, but I was struggling with my hormones. Not only were my nutrients deficient, but my hormones were a mess. With each baby, it had gotten worse. We lost number 2 baby, and that made it really bad. I had hit my highest weight after losing her. It was hard to get weight off anyway, and I was just a mess. I had a month-long period and all the PMS that came with it. My poor husband stuck around, and I'm so grateful he did, but I probably wouldn't have blamed him if he left because I was momzilla all the time. So I had just seen a hormone doctor, and she had said, I don't know what to do with you because your hormones are technically in the normal range, but they're low, but you're young, and I don't really want to start hormone replacement therapy. And then I heard my sister's story. So I said, you know what, I'll try this. I don't expect it to work, but I'll try it, and then I'll do the hormone therapy. Well, 3 weeks in, my period was normal. 7 months in, my period was pain-free. 14 months in, my secret wish came true, and we got pregnant. I hadn't told anybody about that. I was just hoping I would be able to get pregnant. And so when I got pregnant at 14 months in, I was beyond excited. I was so ecstatic. I had the best pregnancy I've ever had of all 4. I didn't swell up. I was able to roll over in bed till the very last day and get up and jump around just like I just didn't feel stuck in my own skin. I had a C-section like normal, and I had normal swelling with that, but within 2 days, it was gone. I started back on my E's, and it just went away. My feet were not bricks for 2 weeks. So I just had an amazing pregnancy, and my products were doctor approved. The best part is that I got 2 for 1. My little baby got all that gut benefit as well. And she, to this day, even though all my babies are formula babies and usually constipated, she is my 2 to 3 poops a day baby. She is my happy baby. She is nice and chunky and fat, and she's just a happy, happy baby. So it was kind of nice to get a 2 for 1 deal with her. So anyway, the X Factor is what helps that nutrient absorption. The X Factor has aloe in it. That aloe increases nutrient absorption by 300%, and it's kind of sticky. So it basically escorts your nutrients along your gut to the places where they need to go to help it to be absorbed better. Think about when you use aloe on your skin, it increases healing, does the same thing in your gut. It fills in those holes so that you don't have leaky gut anymore. You start to absorb things better, your chronic inflammation goes away, and you start to reverse the conditions you've lived with for a long time. So X Factor is one of my favorite products for that reason. It's also methylated. That means it's fully absorbable. There's no conversion needed. For example, it has real folate instead of folic acid. Folic acid is synthetic, and your body has to convert that, and that takes energy. And half of us can't even do that because we have a gene mutation in this country. So by taking the real stuff in its pure form, you absorb it right away. It works faster. So it's one of my favorite products. You combine it with the triplex, and it just works that much better. And we call that the Fab Four. One of the things I was told early on was to share my story. And at first I said, no way, I'm doing this secretly. I'm not telling anybody. But that night I had this prompting in my heart, and I just couldn't get rid of it, that I needed to share on, and I put my story on Facebook and just said, hey, I'm trying these supplements. This is what I'm hoping they'll do. They've helped my sister with this. And that night I had a long lost friend, haven't talked to her in years, probably a decade or more. She messaged me and said, I have tried everything, and that sounds just like what I need. What are you using? She signed up the next day, and she had amazing results with her IBS. She has celiac disease, and even though she still has that disease, it's not a cure or anything. She could cheat if she wanted to and eat some gluten here and there because it doesn't hurt her like it used to. So anyway, it was just really fun to see that change in her, and I learned right then that there was everybody walking around feeling like crap and nobody's talking about it, and I needed to share my story. And the more I've shared my story, the more and more and more I have found people that are waiting and ready for help and for healing. And we have that. We have products that work, products that can help them. And so that is why I continue to share. When I first started, I just wanted to share to help people, and I still do, but it's actually turned into a really nice side business. My husband's a teacher. I'm a teacher. Money is always kind of tight. But with this extra income, we've been able to pay for our trips, pay for those extra tires, increase, our food storage. And it's just been a blessing to have those things to pay for and not have to worry about them anymore. So that's a little bit about my story. I know Tanil wanted to share a little bit about her, so I'll turn it back to her if she can talk.
Yeah, I'm okay for a minute. But maybe just a minute. I waited 2 entire months to share before I told anyone that I was even taking it, other than my husband. I I wanted to make sure I had those results. I wanted to make sure I had something to tell people first. And that is my only regret with Plexus, is that I didn't say something sooner, because I could have helped so many more people. Like I said, we couldn't afford it when I started, and I was working as a server, making a server's wage in Utah, which is not awesome, but it was a job. And I would work nights, and my husband would stay home with our daughter. That way we didn't have to pay for daycare. Because if you pay for daycare, then why work, right? It doesn't really even out. So we didn't see each other a whole lot, my husband and I. We would pass dropping the kid off. And then I would go to work and he would come home, and then I'd get home and he'd be asleep. And I started sharing Plexus just to cover the cost of my products, just so that I didn't have that financial burden, that on a credit card. And the more I started to share, the more people I started to help. And I kept thinking, man, I would do this without getting paid, because I get to see lives change. I mean, I met Kara through her sister, who was my college roommate, and we are now the best of friends. I've watched her heal on these products. I've watched her have a baby. I have watched it help her financially and her husband. I have loved every second of that. And I have dozens, hundreds of stories of women just like that. And so I keep sharing. And after a few months of working, working Plexus on the side, I was just sharing with people. I wasn't doing it as a business. I was able to stop serving. I was able to quit my job as a server so that I could be home with my family at night. And it was probably one of the biggest blessings that we had as a family, because we needed that time together. And now we have it. I work from home. I make money to help supplement our income, to help us pay for trips to the Grand Canyon and Disneyland and all of these things that we have talked about doing that we can now do without that financial burden. And I've been able to help others and donate where I wouldn't have been able to donate before. And that's one of the things that I love about our company. It is a company that is all about paying it forward. The president of the company has the saying, if you're blessed, be a blessing. And that is the number one thing that I think about every single day. Is how blessed I have become and how many blessings I have received because of these plant-based products and a company that does things the right way for the right reasons. And even on the hard days, I have no desire to not share. Even when I have days where I would rather not work, I still want to work because I want to help people. I want to share those things that I have been given. And that is the essence of this company and the products, is to just help and heal and give hope. And we have coming up a 5-day Facebook challenge. It's not an official challenge. We're not going to make you do anything. But we have tons of information about the products and more in depth than we can do in a short call like this. And you can talk to whoever sent you to this call, talk to whoever your friend is that has invited you here, and they can get you into that 5-day challenge. We'll go over products. We'll have testimonies. It's just a great non-stressed way to learn about the products and the company that we love so much that we take our time to do these things. Kara, anything else?
Nope, I think that's it. We're just grateful for everybody coming out. I know it was a busy night. We have the recording that you can send to those that weren't able to make it tonight. And like she said, if they're interested in trying out the 5-day challenge next week, it's such a great way to try out some of the pink drink, Come meet some of the friends, hear some testimonials, and we give away prizes, which is always fun too. So that's coming up starting on Monday. It's a perfect segue from Mother's Day to treat yourself, because mothers always put themselves last. So this is a chance for us moms to put ourselves first, fill our own pitcher so we can pour into other people's cups. So anyway, we're super great you came tonight. Super grateful you came. If you have any questions, just get with your friend or sponsor and they can help you with those.